I made a mistake right at the beginning. I waited to leave until the winds built up, but wasn't thinking the winds are coming directly on the nose. With the shipping channel, I had limited tacking room. And we had an ebb current, so we had short, rough seas. I couldn't sail, and so I had to motor all the way out and around the Cape. So, not a good start.
Yeah, so the seas are building and getting very close together. I'm not sure what's happening here. Holy schmoly. Just came up to watch my first sunset at sea, and then the cloud bank moved in, so I'm sort of seeing a sunset. Looks like a giant spotlight through the cloud there. Just finished reducing the sail for the night. It's my usual routine. Put another reef in the main, roll up the jib a bit. Takes off about a knot, so we're down from 5 to 4, but that way we're ready for whatever may come up in the night, so I'm not trying to do all that nonsense in the dark. So we're rocking and rolling here in 16 to 20 knots of wind. This is Command Central, so where I sleep, and from here I can, by looking at that over there, I can monitor boat speed and our heading, make sure everything's okay, time of day. Over there I can, over there I can see the battery voltages, so I know things are good. And then I get my lazy ass out of the bunk and go over here and do the log, etc. Back there's the galley and the garage storage. Over here is the revolving junk pile. But I'm finding it easier just to keep some stuff out that I need in a hurry when I have to go on deck, rather than scrambling around in lockers at night. So yeah, a bit of a slob, but the method seems to be working for me. Over and out. There's good old Ralph steering away. The sun's going down there. Over there, 1,800 miles away, is Hawaii. Here's our dilemma. There you can see the wind. That's on our beam. So we can either sail that direction, which is where we don't want to go, or this direction, which we also don't want to go. Right now we're drifting along the course line, but not going very fast. So we can go fast but the wrong way and have to make up the distance later, or do nothing and sit here. And so far, do nothing seems to be the strategy, unfortunately. We also have a ship coming on us. So if I zoom in, so he's just going to pass behind us. And you can see the circle we've made today. Oh, anyway, this is called sailing. Over out. So it's time for the halfway party. In about 1 hour, I'll officially reach the halfway point. So I have a few little things for the halfway party. That's what I got for myself. Some gummy bears in party hats. Before we left, Nora and Levi made something for me. So I'm going to open that first. Just spoke with them because today is also Anna's birthday. So I just had a nice little chat with everybody. And I was telling Anna the story that this time, the year she was born, I was sailing to Hawaii from Tahiti. And then went back to Calgary for Neil and Leah's wedding, and she was born then. And then I stayed. We didn't come back. I didn't come back for the last leg. So here's a nice little watercolor card. Grandpa, I will miss you. I love you. Levi. Aw. And he was asking me today how I cook food. I mean, he's always right into the action. Well, here's a picture of the boat. Some seagulls. Very nice, Nora. And very nice, Levi. Nice color choices. To Grandpa. I hope you're having a great sailing trip, and I hope it is fun. Love, Nora. Aw. So I'm going to call them tomorrow to thank them. I didn't want to do it tonight because it was wrapped up with Anna's birthday party. How sweet. So guys, I'm going to be putting those up on the wall of fame over there. I'll show you that in a second. And then very thoughtful gift from my friend Gus on eDock in a fancy schmancy bag. Small bottle of good champagne. So I'm not going to drink that tonight. I'm going to save that for the first anchor drink when I get to Hawaii. I don't have any beer on board, so instead of an anchor beer, it'll be anchor champagne. So that'll be good. And I got to find a spot to keep that so it doesn't break. And then very appropriate, since my blog site is called An Old Man in the Sea, this is The Old Man in the Sea by Ernest Hemingway, which is great because I'm on my last book, so now I have another book. Perfect. And I'll have some of this tonight. Belgique chocolate, 88%. Lovely. That is going to go down a treat. And it should be eaten before I get into the hot weather, otherwise it'll turn into a big halfway. Roughly 12 days to go. And so here we are at 32-138, halfway to Hawaii. And as you can see, not a whole lot of wind. And a very gentle swell, which once in a while we get a big one which rocks us around. And you can see up at the masthead it's spinning around, so there's no real wind coming from anywhere. The pulled out jib is doing its job, keeping it from, if I didn't have that pole there, that clew would be slapping against the boat. So at least it keeps it up, and if there is a puff, we'll get moving somewhere. And here we is. Good Lord. Send me some wind. Airing out our not our laundry, but our bedding. Just had a bucket of seawater, and I've done up the dishes with a rinse with about 2 cups of fresh. And I don't know if the color of the water is showing up, but you can see it's definitely blue. Over and out. Well, hopefully this is our last night becalmed. And as you can see, it is pretty becalmed. And there's the cloud bank that we'd seen earlier today from the north. So I hope that means we're going to get a change of weather. Predict wind says it should start filling in sometime tomorrow morning. Fingers crossed. Oh man, and this rolling is driving me nuts. And I'm just getting cranky from having not a whole lot of progress in 3 days here. But I'm out here doing what I dreamt about for 20 years, so who am I to complain, right? And I think tomorrow's job will be, if the wind is going to fill in, first thing in the morning, we'll take that whisker pole assembly, take all that apart, put the pole back on the rail, bring all the sheets back. One less rodeo to worry about when the wind comes up. Because unless we're going to be going wing on wing downwind, we won't need it if the wind fills in. Tonight was a late dinner. Didn't feel like cooking. We had I trimmed away the nasty bits of the cabbage, so I ate a quarter of a cabbage with some olives that were just starting to go, and some sweaty cheese and some crackers. Sounds disgusting, but it tasted pretty good. And I have one piece of bannock left, that'll be for breakfast. And yeah, the bannock was good, but it sure makes a mess. Alright, here comes another one. This one feels worse than the other one. Yeah. And I barely had time to put the phone away and it started up again. That's the time interval. Today's annoying. Just finished a late meal and time to clean up. I'm just gonna get some seawater to do the initial dishes. But here we are. After a frustrating morning, we finally have the wind. So as you can see, we're headed almost west, which is not where we want to be. But if we carry on in this pace, in about a day or so we'll gybe and then be heading straight to Hilo. So all's good on Watermark. Ralph's doing a fine job. Even he's happy to be underway after 2.5 days of bobbing around. It was very frustrating. However, we knew it wasn't going to last forever. We just had to wait. And I'm learning patience. And the boat could sure use a rainstorm. There's salt crystals everywhere. Everything you touch is greasy and grainy. You go and handle some ropes, you can see the salt falling off them. Everything's feeling crusty. But I don't know if we're going to get rain before Hilo, so... And we won't be in our marina, so it'll be long overdue boat wash when we get back to Sydney. Over and out. It's June 29th, day 18. We're finally in the wind, had a good run last night. Got the sunshade up, so we can sit out in the cockpit without boiling in the sun. Perfect. And we are in 12 knots of true wind, going 4.5, 5.3 knots. Not quite in the right direction. So if we don't get a wind shift, we'll be jibing in a day or so. We're heading almost due west, but a jibe will put us almost directly down to Hilo in a day or so. Anyway, I'm learning patience. This is not the Gulf Islands. We don't react to every wind shift, or lack of wind shift. So we'll see what happens. Right now, we're just enjoying this. Last night was a beautiful starry night. No moon yet. That'll be coming. Unfortunately, we still see some plastic crap floating around, but that's the norm these days. And right now, we'll just sit here and enjoy the gentle swell. Last orange of the trip until we get to Hilo, and we've got 2 apples left. Then it's all dehydrated or canned. Good morning. It's July the 4th, and we continue to go south. I was going to jibe, but I'll show you on predict wind why we're not going to jibe. So that's roughly where we are now. That's the great wind hole. It was very small when we were in it, and it's getting big and bigger. So that's the situation as of about right now. If I start this, you can see the wind start getting, this wind hole is expanding south and to the west of us. So if I start jibing now, I could end up, if this gets even bigger, in less wind. So I'm going to continue south, where hopefully the wind hole doesn't go. And it's going to be interesting. There's two races to Hawaii starting right now, the Vic Maui and the Transpac from California, both of which are going to have to deal with this wind hole. So it'll be interesting to see how they do it. At any rate, that's the situation for now, and that's why we're going south. Get a flavor for the different sea conditions. So we're in 20 gusting up to 27 knots. I think it might be from that squall over there. And every once in a while we fall into a bit of a, not a monster wave, but a much bigger than normal wave. So stand by and see if we can capture one. And when that happens, the back end slews around quite a bit. Again, I'll just say I'm glad we're more or less going with these and not against them. Here's the foredeck with just the staysail going. So it brings all the effort closer to the mast. You can see the deck is fairly flat, so not a whole lot of heel. Ralph seems happy, steering away. I think we can squeeze a bit more. Maybe a little bit more downwind, but I don't want to push it, otherwise we get into irons, downwind irons. There's the dip. Yeah, so that last wave was higher than the way higher than the back rail. So anyway, it's very hard to capture on video. You have to be here. Okay, so there's the chart plotter. The magenta line is the line into Hilo, and that blue line that's just about ready to cross it is our projected course in the next 24 hours. Whoa, sorry. And this red line down here shows the closest we can get to the wind if we tack, or gybe, sorry. So you can see that red line is going to be below the magenta line, which means we would miss Hilo. So we need to carry on up to about there before we gybe, so that we can come in on top of Hilo. So that looks like almost another day, unless the wind angle changes. So for now, it looks like we spend Sunday getting ready to gybe, and then gybe on Monday and get in there on Monday, I hope. Okay, we're doing a day in the life of. So we're getting up. It's 10 to midnight. Just get up and do the log. Turn off the alarm here before it goes off. Speak of the devil. Undo the bed. Alright, we're mobile. Barely. Sorry for bouncing around, but the boat's moving. We'll call this 23:45. We're doing 227. which is almost bang on to Hilo, I believe, but we'll check. 69.6. So it's been an hour and we've done 3.8. Not our best, but gets us over the 100 mark, 101.4. And the wind of, so we gotta do it between the oscillations. We're down about 9 knots. We're doing 3. The apparent wind is down around 7, so it's as good as we can hope. So 2345. NAT, NAT stands for no AIS targets. So let's have a look now. We go to the screen. Go down to nav. AIS list, nothing. Alright, just us and the chickens. And if we go to the gate chart, so the little blue line is our extended course. That line is the bearing, so we're damn close. And this says we got 535 miles to go. It's almost the same we had this morning, I think. So, small progress. 535 to go. Let's see what it said on here. $567 to go. So according to that, we've gained about 40 miles. Which doesn't make a lot of sense, but it's because we haven't been going directly to. It's not all velocity made good. Alright. Battery voltages are looking good. Just go take a look and see how Ralph is doing. Ouch. Look up there. He's about as far downwind as we can go, so if we go any more aggressively, we'll end up with slatting sails. Even that's a bit tight, but seems to be holding course, so we're good. And that's what happens when we hit a swell. Alright, we're out. Alright, let's have a look outside. Sorry. Alright, look through here first. So things aren't too bad, except when we get a bigger, steeper wave than normal and we kind of slide down like right there. That's when things go flying. So we're not bouncing on the waves, they're coming under us, lifting us up, and then we kind of slide down like a toboggan. Whoa, there goes another one. Alright. So let me get my grippage here and we'll go look up top. Alright, and once again, the steepness is not captured by the video. But if you try and keep relative to the top of the rail of the boat, so for instance that is not the horizon, that's a wave. Alright, and as we get on top, way off there in the distance, you can see the horizon. And if we watch over here, we might be able to see the next big one come. This almost is indicative of what we were having earlier today with squalls, but I don't see any squalls around. But much easier sailing with the staysail. And the reason for that is when you roll up the jib goes higher and higher, which means the force on the sail is higher and higher, and you get more heeling. So we can get almost the same speed, but by bringing the force down lower on the boat and closer to the center of the boat. So you can see the boat is relatively flat until we get thrown by a wave. There we go. And sun's dead ahead, which means we are sailing more or less east, which is not where we want to be, but we can't fight the wind. And everything is coated in salt, just crusty. Whenever I go work on the foredeck and come back, my hands are covered in salt. Most of my pants have now got salt on them, which means they'll kind of dry out, but if there's any moisture in the air, they just suck it back up again, just like salt will in a container if it's not sealed. So that's, everything kind of feels greasy and moist. Anyway, it'll be good to get all this cleaned up when we get to anchor. If we're only a day away, I'll probably risk having a quick shower and maybe rinse out some underwear or something, we'll see. Over and out. So the sun is out, you can see the blue sky. More importantly, you can see the blue of the water, and why it's called blue water sailing. It's almost like a phalo blue, very deep and dark. Hard to describe. There you go, you can see it there. It's quite amazing. And it's only because we're in 12,000 meters of water. Came out of the mist. It's Mauna Kea, however you say it, volcano. It's about 42 miles away. We're almost there. Yeah. It's gonna be so good to get on anchor, get a good rest, get organized with it. Wow, you did it. Amazingly, still no ships on the AIS, so it's still us only out here. Sorry, still only us out here. Cool. Alright, getting ready to go ashore. First time on land in sort of 31 days. Even being on the boat last night, with the boat being still, my legs felt wobbly, so we'll see how this goes. Plus we got a nice wind blowing us ashore, but it'll be a workout coming back, that's for sure. Sorry about the bad camera, but I haven't got a mount here. Alright. And we're off. Sort of. Alright, off we go. See some beach over there, so that's where we'll head. Floating. Let me get a view here. Alright, so there's the harbor, there's Watermark, there's the port over there with the cruise ship in for the day. Trade winds are blowing from directly at the camera at the moment. You can see that on the flag. And we're heading over there past that blue boat onto a beach. and to the airport to get spare parts and a burger somewhere. Over and out. All right, first landfall, and I was walking like I had had a few too many beer. But anyway, this is a little local park with a beach. Pretty cool. Anyway, over and out.